Okay, good morning, everyone. It's great to have everyone here in person and virtually as we welcome you back and kick off the spring semester. This meeting will be maybe a little different from some of the other welcome back meetings. We have a town hall meeting next Tuesday where we'll talk about construction projects, budget, enrollment, a lot of important details and nuts and bolts. But today is really about an opportunity to reflect on the impact that we have in our mission. We have three fantastic guest speakers. And so again, thanks for being here during this, obviously very challenging time as we welcome back our students next Tuesday, certainly, but also I know we have some students already back on campus. We've welcomed some new international students in the last few days. So here we go. So beautiful campus. And I thought I would begin the presentation today with thinking a little bit about where we've been and our history. It's very easy to get focused on the here and now, the decisions, the challenges, the opportunities right in front of us. But I do think it's important to realize we are part of something larger than that, that has been here for decades and has made a great impact. Missouri Southern State University, of course, started as Joplin Junior College. And so I thought I'd share with you a few old photos from some of those early days. The upper part of this screen is a science lab in the year 1938. At that time, Joplin Junior College had an enrollment of 314 students. But even then, right, teaching, learning, development of student potential was at the core. And then the bottom photographs of a more modern science lab. So if you're a scientist or a chemist, you just love to see the Erlenmeyer flasks, the Buchner funnels, all those great things, even back then. That are still with us today. Another photo, this one on the left from 1940, which is the Student Senate that was convening and gathering at that time. A lot of things have changed, but the importance of listening to our students and shared governance has not changed. And then on the right, today's Student Senate here at Missouri Southern. This photo is simply to remember why we're here. It's our students. And there are many things that we do to help our students learn, develop, and support them, whether it be in very visible and out front roles or behind the scenes, but we're all part of our mission. And the focus of that mission truly is providing quality education, development of potential and talent with a focus on our students. So this welcome back meeting has a bit of a theme to it. Let's call it a Lion for Life. So I'd like us to think about in the next roughly 35 or 40 minutes, the impact of our university from the very young to perhaps the more experienced and very old. So what we're going to do is walk through some stages, if you will, of being a lion. And we'll start with our youngest lions. These are two really great photos that we recently received of our staff members who recently became parents. On the left, Corey Reed, son Theo Reed, born December 14th, and then Alex Gandy, born Tobin Gandy on January 3rd. So we'll call these lion cubs you see on the right being raised by lions. So just kind of a fun way to remember that a lot of times those connections to Missouri Southern start very young. Moving forward, of course, we have a wonderful facility and program in the Lion Cub Academy. This began many years ago in a building on the corner of Newman and Duquesne. It moved then to the Taylor Education Building and now to the Joplin Regional Center. Over those years, almost 3,000 young people, Lion Cubs, if you will, have been supported, educated, developed at that Lion Cub Academy. So it's a great part of our campus. I know many of our faculty and staff have or have had children in that facility, and I'm sure there's a few that years ago were in that place themselves. Moving forward, you think about K-12 Lions and the way we connect and outreach to school districts, to young people, K-12, and I just picked a few examples of that. Certainly our Children's Lifetime Sports Academy, which has been going many years. It celebrated its 25th year anniversary last year. During the summer, it engages young people, but also our own students and our faculty in providing those lifetime sports academy type experiences. And it's a great way for us to reach out to the community, one among many, many ways that we connect. Those really do make a difference. They help connect the university with the community, young people, and of course, makes them aware of the great opportunities here at Missouri Southern. And then more recently, as you probably know, we have had a series of green and gold tours where we've selected communities in our region to connect with in a variety of different ways. We've been to Manette and Nevada and recently Seneca. This is a photograph from earlier in the fall in Nevada, where after school, we provided free shaved ice to high school students and had some of our own students out there talking about the great opportunities here at Missouri Southern. And I can tell you shaved ice is a huge draw as these students poured out of the building to get some shaved ice. It was, I'd never seen anything quite like it. So a lot of great ways that we connect. Our dual enrollment program, which has been in place many years, Brett Meeker and others do a great job of connecting through our schools in that way. Enrollment in dual enrollment has been growing, almost 600 students this past fall. The top 5 school districts you see here: College Heights, Carl Junction, Joplin, St. Charles, and Webb City. So this is another example of the way we connect, and it really matters. People in Joplin, people in this community, they value Missouri Southern, they want us to succeed, and so that connection is critical. Another new program that we've spoken about is Moskau CAPS, and so our first speaker today is Dr. Suzanne Hall, who's serving as the director of the Moskau CAPS program, and she's here to tell us a little bit about Moskau CAPS. Dr. Hall. Yes.
So Moskau CAPS is the Missouri Southern Center for Advanced Professional Studies. And we currently have 2 district partners, Webb City and Carl Junction. They have signed a 3-year MOU with our program. And we also have several corporate partnerships: Liberty Utilities, Mercy, Arvest, and Cardinal Scales. And these industry partners are willing to work with our students and provide mentoring opportunities and real world experiences for them. Our industry partner list will grow. Our students will start enrolling. Our application just actually opened on Monday, January 10th. So as the students enroll and we see where their passion lies for a career experience, we will grow those industry partners. So our program is a dual enrollment program. It's for high school juniors and seniors. The students will actually be taking coursework on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they will experience an industry partner career path on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So we're really preparing them not only to excel in college, but also their careers. We have 3 strands that the students will be able to participate in this coming academic year: health sciences, human services, and business marketing and entrepreneurship. We also have additional strands that will be considered for future strands: bioscience, computer science and information technology, engineering, technology, and manufacturing. Thankfully, students who are interested in manufacturing or engineering technology or computer science, we can put those into the business strand during the first year, and then we can expand those strands. In health sciences, for example, a student, if they choose a health sciences career path, they can have an industry partner experience either in respiratory care, radiology, pharmacology, gee whiz, I've lost my train of thought, medicine, dental hygiene, paramedic. Any of those would be something that they could actually experience. And then that would be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with the industry partner. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they would take intro to health sciences on campus. So a student schedule looks a little bit like this. So they will either be in the 8 o'clock session, and so they would be on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 10:30, or in the noon session. So they'd be on campus from noon to 2:30. So the students would be in class from 8 to 9:15, and then we will have somebody called a strand coordinator who will provide a safety net for students, and they will meet with the students after their class ends at 9:15 and provide additional support in their coursework, and then also tie their learning from the course back to the industry experience. Those strand coordinators will also be working with the students in their industry partner experience as well, and on those industry partner projects. So the students will be meeting 5 days a week, either on campus or with their industry partner, and they'll receive at least 3 credits for their coursework per semester. We're looking at an additional 1-hour credit for the industry partner experience as well. So we are growing our own Lions through Moskau CAPS, and we're excited to continue our partnership with other districts. We actually have 2 other districts who are interested in joining, and we will be growing our own.
Thank you, Dr. All, for an update on that really exciting program. It will be a new way to truly connect some K-12 students with our campus. So we talked about line Cubs, K-12. Let's think about life of a line, meaning our current students. Missouri Southern offers a great experience, a great opportunity for our students. We know that there's much to be proud of. Certainly academics, that is at the core of what we do, teaching, learning, development of our students. We sometimes talk about some somewhat unique attributes of Missouri Southern: global, personal, and immersive. Global, as you know, is an important part of who we are and has been for decades. We have an international theme to our mission. The last few days, we've welcomed international students from around the country. We encourage and support students to study abroad. Hopefully the pandemic will look a little differently in the future, so we can do that in a more robust way. But it is a very impactful experience for our students. The personal aspect, when you talk to students and alumni, they speak about the relationships, the personal connections that they have, the care that is demonstrated by our faculty and staff. That's very much a part of who we are. And then the immersive experiences across campus. Classroom traditional experiences are certainly important, but that hands-on engaged learning can really connect students in some wonderful ways and prepare them for their next step. Student life is important, of course. So on the left, we have a photo from Third Thursday, the Women in Science Club, which is really active on our campus. Did a great job of connecting with young people, especially. That's some liquid nitrogen and some frozen flowers that are always a big hit. And then Choral Flourish, in its 12th year, is a wonderful Missouri Southern tradition. This year, you probably know it was first canceled and then moved to another date. It still was a wonderful evening. The students who participate in that, and certainly Dr. Charlo, are tremendously passionate, very talented, and it's something our community looks forward to every year. And then, you know, a general photo just showing some, in this case, some summer welcome back activities. It's really critical that we strive to be a very vibrant and engaged campus. Line athletics are certainly part of the student experience and another way that we support and engage students. On this slide, we have some pretty impressive statistics in terms of the academic performance of our student athletes. 50 of them in the fall had a 4.0 GPA, and you can see that other information up there as well. We're Division II, where being a student and an athlete work together, and I think that really needs to be a big part of how we view intercollegiate athletics. The graduation rate for student athletes is higher than our overall student body for many reasons, I think, but certainly because they're engaged with their peers as part of a team, they're connected, and often their coaches and coaching staff serve not just as coaches, but also mentors. And we've had some great success in many ways. Cross country, track and field, really both men and women have done well for years. And I'll mention our football team had 3 wins this year, which is, I think, the most since 2014. Talking a little bit earlier that when we beat Central Missouri, you would have thought we won a national championship. People just went crazy. So that was fun to see. Speaking of students, we thought it'd be great for everyone to hear from one of our current students. So it's an honor to introduce Titus Hefner, who's a freshman from Carl Junction, interested in aerospace. Titus, thank you for being here today during your break, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Hey, everybody. I know some of us couldn't make it today, and some of you are virtual. So I'd like to say hello to everybody, including the virtual people. My name is Titus Hefner, and I went to Carl Junction High School. There on the far, I guess it would be your right, is a picture of me. My mother still complains about me not having any pictures from probably my freshman year forward of my face. So there's the back of my head. I'd like to start off with a quote. It is more difficult to govern yourself than to govern a city. One thing that I have focused on in the past 4 years of my life is leadership. And that started sort of with my dad encouraging me, or more scolding me, because I was a poor example to my brothers and friends. And I didn't actually realize that I was expected to be a leader. But what happened was I was an influence on others. And I think that anecdote, especially with coming to fruition in the leadership program, has helped me realize that whether or not you or I want to be a leader, we are a leader to someone. And so it's important that we all sort of take that individual responsibility to encourage leadership within each and every one of us, because whether you like it or not, you are a leader to someone. And now more than ever, we've seen example after example of leadership, good and bad. And now more than ever, we need someone to be sort of an anchor in these dynamic times. With everything changing and everything being uncertain, procedures changing, guidelines changing, situations changing, finances, socioeconomic stress, we need something that we can look to, something that we can hold on to, and something that we can trust can stay sort of certain. And I think leadership is where we should look. Now, as of right now, I've had no formal training or before I came here. And now I've been honored to be a part of the Global Leadership Program, which has taken a more straightforward approach, pursuing leadership specifically in a actual formal setting. So in global leadership, we've had a couple of things go on. We've had less formal like team building exercises. And we've also focused on individual improvements in a team circumstance. So another thing that we've been doing is having guest speakers, and we've had people from all walks of life. We had Sean Askinosi of Askinosi Chocolates talk about sort of business ventures and leadership in the business community. And we've also had the Vice Admiral of the US Navy, Admiral Trussler, talk about what it means to lead in sort of a more political landscape while you also have different priorities on the table. And one thing that everybody has talked about, purposefully or not, has been reflecting the individual level of leadership. And I think it's not something we talk about enough. A lot of us grow up thinking that leadership is, taking a stand and changing the world when the world needs to be changed. But a lot of us neglect the smaller steps of leadership and changing yourself before you sort of address the world. So I would also like to thank the school. Before this program was introduced to me, I never really saw a concentrated effort by people that were older than me or leadership that had been in leadership to make an effort to sort of usher in a new age of leaders. And it took me by surprise when I heard that this leadership opportunity was available. My dad mentioned it to me after giving a presentation to the school. And I would like to say a special thanks to the school, because again, I've never seen anything quite like this, having an opportunity to sort of help out leadership within the students here, because the students here and across the world need to be trained in leadership, because we are going to be leadership eventually. I'd also like to say a special thanks to the program donors. One of the things that's a benefit of the leadership program is that we get a $4,000 stipend at the end of our 30 credit hours here. And me personally, I was going to explore aerospace engineering and leadership opportunities within that field. And I've actually submitted an internship application at SpaceX that I'm waiting to hear back from. And I will be pursuing with that stipend, most likely, more jobs and more information in that field. So I cannot express enough my thanks to the donors of the Global Leadership Program and Mr. Ryan Orcutt for helping me out. one thing that the Global Leadership Program has also offered that wasn't an express goal of the program was it provides a home sort of for all of the people. I was lucky enough to attend a school that's right here next to my home, but I know a lot of people have traveled here and don't live here and they aren't natives of here. And one of the things I was concerned about was not feeling at home at this school. And the Global Leadership Program has provided not only a place where I can talk to people who are also similarly interested in leadership, but a place where I can feel comfortable at, and a place where I can hang out, and a place where I can ask or get questions if I have any, no matter how stupid the questions are. And then I'd also like to give a special thanks to Mr. Ryan Vows. He's been a pretty big factor in my social networking as far as opportunities go. So thank you guys.
Great job, and really inspiring to hear from one of our students. As many of you know, the Global Leaders Program began in the fall as a foundation-funded, donor-funded program that welcomes up to 50 new freshmen each year and is focused on leadership. And then those students also receive a $4,000 stipend for an immersive experience such as study abroad or research or some other type of professional development. So Titus, again, thanks for sharing your story today. So all of this set of wonderful opportunities for students is made possible through our faculty and staff. So I want to take a few minutes to have everyone reflect on how you make a difference. And I'll just highlight a few of many outstanding faculty and staff that we have here at Missouri Southern. You see the outstanding advisor and teachers recently who are recognized for their excellence in teaching and mentoring students. What I'd like to do is share a few quotes. Jennifer Wieselmeyer, as a faculty member, was chosen as the outstanding advisor. And you hear some of these stories from nominees and students, very appreciative of the enormous amount of time and effort this advisor was willing to give to help me, a non-traditional first-time student, single mom with a full-time job. And so those interactions, those moments, the time and effort we make focus on our students makes a difference. Dr. Borchett in computer information science. A student says, I've taken classes in several disciplines. I can say with great confidence, this teacher exemplifies the very best mentor, leader, teacher, influencer. He sees a student's passion, is always available, and is a gold standard for teaching professionals. There's a lot of testimony of commitment by our faculty in that statement, and that makes a difference. And then Dr. Cliff Tolliver, unequivocally my favorite teacher. He showed an interest in me, both as a student and a person. This individual with the nominee was a student athlete, crazy schedule. He cared enough to ask about my physical and mental health. So these are just examples from the faculty of how they make a difference. And then the staff, every one of us, whether we're out front or more behind the scenes, makes a difference. And just prior to the holidays, we had a wonderful event in Young Gym that recognized years of service and excellence among our staff. In particular, we recognized Lisa Sweet, academic advisor in ACTS, and Candy Benke, admin assistant, English and philosophy. They received the Superior Service Award. And a couple of quotes. First for Lisa Sweet, no matter when I contacted the nominee or what the situation was, they were always available to provide guidance. They consistently go above and beyond what is expected. And Candy, always working to enhance the experiences of students, from friendly chatting, setting up healthy snacks, food shelf for those in needs, looks out for students while creating a positive and safe space for them. So there's a theme in all of this, isn't all these statements. It is individuals, faculty and staff who are committed and who focus their time and energy and their talents on students. And doing that every day has a tremendous impact. So thank you. Well, let's look forward then, graduating Lions. So it is certainly a major goal of our campus to not only enroll students, but to have them graduate and move on to the next steps in their lives. So this time, well, one slide before the video, I thought I'd share with you the top employers of Missouri Southern graduates. You may or may not be surprised with this, but Mercy Health System is number one. Freeman is number two. And you look at this list, quite a bit in healthcare, business, Leggett and Platt, and then also some school districts as a reminder of how our graduates who become teachers make a difference in our region and kind of a multi-generational impact in that regard. So with that, I think we have about a 3-minute video from December commencement.
We're grateful for the opportunity to be able to get my master's even this much later. Feels great.
Everything went great. I just graduated from the MSM program. My professors was great, always there to help me out, and I would always recommend this program to anyone who's trying to elevate themselves in the business world.
Awesome. How's it feel?
Man, it's a feeling like no other. You know, to get an advanced degree, especially from here, is great.
Yes, I thank all my professors because they are so amazing. They were so helpful, and I've built such great relationships with all of them, and I'm so thankful.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
It's a really good program. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that I took the chance and transferred from a community college to go here.
I would like to say hi to Dr. Merhoff, Dr. Berry, and Dr. Ruiz, and Dr. Donaldson. And I don't know if my parents are watching, but hi. It was fun. I met a lot of great people, worked with a lot of great people, and now I'm ready to graduate with Rory's shoes.
What is this?
It's a phone.
Hey.
Hey. Congratulations. We're gonna snag you for a second.
All right, ready? 5, 4. Look over here at the wallet, purse, phone.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I can't believe another accomplishment. Definitely went by super fast.
Hi, everyone at the university. Thank you so much.
Dr. Craig in the education department was really helpful to me.
Dr. Gamble is awesome.
Oh, I really loved it. I really appreciated the program that I got to be a part of.
I really appreciate Missouri Southern and the fact that they've stuck with me through everything. This is one of the best colleges that I can recommend to anybody. I've really enjoyed my time here. I really appreciate the psychology department. Every single one of them has been amazing. They've helped me through so much. They've just all done me really well.
I've had a lot of great professors. Diana Fordham has been great. And, Andrea Hacker was very pivotal in my experience. All the staff is amazing, and I have loved my time here.
I had a lot of cool teachers. My favorite was probably Mr. Wayne. Shout out to Mr. Wayne.
All my professors, all my family.
Yeah, the same.
They kept me going. My classmates. Especially when we felt like we couldn't make it. Each other. Yeah. It was great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone in the criminal justice department for helping me succeed and get my degree.
Thank you to just every professor I've had. There's so many of you. I appreciate all that you've done for me, all the contacts that you've given me, and just the knowledge that you have provided. Everybody in URM, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for just all the opportunities that you have given me and being such great coworkers.
Stay in touch. I will.
Good job. Congratulations. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice.
See ya.
So fantastic, a great, just a great scene, a great reminder of the importance of what we do. So we talked about Lion Cubs, K through 12, current students, graduation, and then the next step is the great work, the great lives that many of our graduates lead and become successful in many ways. And I think, you know, success is an interesting word. I think part of success is giving, providing value, not just to you, but to others. And we've invited a speaker today that has done just that. I'm very happy and grateful that Brian Valls is here today. A little bit about Brian. He's a 1992 graduate of Missouri Southern State University and was our outstanding alumni in the year 2012. He got his MBA from the University of Arkansas, has been a financial planner, wealth consultant, done great things professionally for many years. But I think what's also special about Brian is his heart of giving and philanthropy. He's done a great deal in our community and is also vice president of the Missouri Southern Foundation. Brian, thank you for being here. You're a wonderful supporter and friend. So Brian, it's all yours.
Before we start, I think there's a few other people that just highlighted here, some of the great graduates that have come before. James in Carthage with Newell Coach in engineering. We have Whitney doing incredible things out in Idaho. What an amazing lady. Mike Moore, I don't know if you've ever met her. I had the opportunity to speak with Mike at an event several years ago. And he said he managed 400,000 people in central US for Walmart. I said, wait a minute, Wells Fargo has like 250,000 people. His area is bigger than the whole country, our whole company that's global. Bethany and others, just incredible work that's out there. I want to spend some time, and I want to first say thank you on behalf of me and the others that have become before me, that thank you for your work. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your time that you spend with our students is incredible, and it matters, and it pays off in the end, not, I think, just for us as students, but to be able to give back in the community. I will pass this, I'll show you an image here in a little bit, some of the things that inspired me, but I want to say that. And number two, Ryan, you guys, the Global Leader Program, I am absolutely convinced, spending time with you all, that our best days are ahead of us. You are incredible. The energy, the excitement, the desire to learn, that's what this is about. So thank you for having this program here. It's incredible. So because I'm old now as a graduate, I get to spend time reflecting back in life. And as you do that, you realize that there's just, there's a humbleness about that. There are incredible people that have come in your pathways that have changed your life. And for me, it was this institution and the people that were here. So I look back, there was three areas that I will forever be grateful for. One is experiences that I had while I was here. Number two is the confidence I received from coming through Missouri Southern. And number three, the inspiration that has driven my life since then. So let's start with experiences. I think, as I've heard Dr. Van Galen say and others, the heart of what we do at this institution is based on the student experiences to let them grow while they're here. Whether that's staff or faculty, we have an obligation and opportunity to shine the light that's within us into them. So for me, when I was here, it was a classroom, small classes by professors that were taught and whose purpose was to teach, not to do research, but to teach. Amazing experiences and one-on-one relationships that inspired. Number two is faculty and staff. So a little bit about me, I'm from Joplin. My parents, when I was getting ready to graduate, said you can go to any university you want to within the city of Joplin. So I think there's a lot of students that are like that. And at first I was like, oh, okay, I'll go there for 2 years and then transfer. But when I got here, those small classes, the faculty that said, and also at Joplin, I played sports. I was not involved with anything else. But those faculty and others that said, try new things, get out there and explore. And for me, being involved in organizations like Phi Beta Lambda in the business school, as I said earlier, led by Dr. Reba McIntyre. You may know her as Dr. Beverly Block. She looks the same. She is an awesome lady that taught about, hey, you can do incredible things in life and have a lot of fun doing it. The Student Senate, to never be involved in my senior year being president of Student Senate. I'll share one of the things learned. You learn about teamwork and leadership, but you also learn from your failures. And I was talking after our last meeting to people from the physical plant, and I said one of the best failures I ever had was before our senior year. We had a couple of our senators who came up with a brilliant, I still think it's a brilliant idea, to raffle off a parking space next to your school of choice. We had a fine set up. Social Security, if it was like you parked there and you weren't supposed to, it's like $50, which was, I don't know, like $1 billion back then. So it was expensive. We're ready to roll, and then the chart shows up to interview right at the start of school, asking, about the program, excited, and then they drop the bomb. She said, do you realize that a raffle is against statute, Missouri statute, blah, 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 blah. And what I paused and I said was, that is great insight. We will take that under advisement. We will go do our research. We'll find out. We'll make sure we're doing this right. We'll come back to you. Well, that's what I said in hindsight. What I actually said was what came to my mind first, which was, let's go out and arrest all the little leaguers because they have raffles every year. That became the headline. I think that was the first chart edition for that year. Val's recommends that we arrest little leaguers. And so valuable lesson learned. But these are the things that you have, experiences on campus. It's a safe place to try new things, to make mistakes, to learn and to grow from that. And I would be remiss not to say, I think those outside of formal school, class, organizations, those experiences on here, that memories I'll cherish forever. It was going on campus planned, student-led trips to spring break in Florida. It was going to the football stadium and watching at the time Matt Cook throw touchdown passes to Rod Smith, pretty decent football player. Was awesome to see. It was about being cramped in that little bitty young gymnasium, and the student section, the excitement and the craziness when we beat Pitt State in basketball. Those are things, are memories that I always cherish. So number one is experiences. Number two is confidence. Going back to my student days from kindergarten through 12th grade, I thought B, the grade B, stood for best. I thought, B student, occasionally some A's, once in a while a C. Honestly, I had no idea you could get a straight A semester. Didn't think it was possible. That was my reality. And coming here and being inspired by teachers from across the campus, whether it's history or political science, you want a desire to learn that stayed with me. I remember getting my first 4.0 in a semester early in college. And what happened was it just changes your perspective. It raises your bar. All of a sudden, your expectations of yourself improve and your belief and your confidence that you can do things. And I'll never forget Jim Gray. He was dean of the School of Business. Mike and I, his son, were friends since kindergarten. But I bet I heard Jim say at least 100 times to other people, I will put our students at Missouri Southern up against any student in the state of Missouri. And it wasn't a slogan. It wasn't a marketing pitch. It was his purpose. It was his deep belief. He lived it out. Everything he could do to support the student experience, so when they graduated from here, they could compete. And what I've seen, and you saw from people that we showed earlier, is not only can you compete against people from the state, you can compete with anyone in the world. You can do amazing, incredible things with your life, whether it's in the career or giving back to your community. All things are in reach. I learned that I am no better than anyone else here, but I'm no lower than anyone else. And that confidence that goes with that you can be humble, but yet confident to make a difference in the world that you live in. And the last thing I'll say that I will always cherish from this institution is inspiration. Being inspired. I'm an econ finance guy, so I did not bring my calculator. Well, I actually did, it's on my phone, which brings me comfort because I can always calculate something for you if you need it. But wired that way, you may be surprised to hear me say this. The two professors that inspired me most, and I had great professors in the School of Business, but was Pat Clutie. She was theater appreciation. Did not want to take the class, it was a requirement, just had to go. But when you got in there, her passion for what she did was infectious. And the other one was Dr. Bud Morgan, who's taught literature. And he, through his excitement, opened up the world you find within the covers of books and how big the world is out there. Not just within books, but to explore the world around you. Those have led to a lifetime passion. I love the theater. My kids love the theater. The inspiration that inspires your soul from seeing a great production. And books just open up the world of potential around you. So I want to thank them. And then the last thing, and I'll hold this. I am the one that looks really surprised there. So, and I mentioned Jim Gray, Mike Gray, my best friend. We were in Oxford University with other students from Missouri Southern, Mr. Yates, who is a former professor here. And those, which has seemed like a short period of time, 3 weeks at Christ Church at Oxford University changed my life. This university's commitment to international study changed my life. And it sounds profound. It opened up doors. Between being a CFA and going to Oxford, that's what people talked about when I was interviewing for jobs. But more than that, I was blown away by Shakespeare in the Park and classic music in the park. I mean, I thought classic music was like 70s music. I had no idea what was out there. But more than that, I met people from all over the world, students from everywhere, Nigeria and Norway and other places. And we had these really cool conversations. This was right after the first Gulf War. So a lot of discussions about faith and about politics and about how the world works. And guess what? People don't think the same way I do. And that's okay. Actually, it's beautiful. All these different ideas. And in today's world where you're instantly judged by who you voted for last election or what news you watch, it's a reminder to me when I see this that we are all created differently with different skills, strengths, and weaknesses. We're not better or worse than the others, but we should celebrate the differences that we have. And when you have the experience of traveling overseas and seeing that, it opens the world to you. So I will end, unless you want me to do some calculations on the calculator, I'll stay around. Okay, no one raises their hand. But I will end with how I started, and that is thank you. If you're in support, thank you. A kind word, a generous word to a student. If you're in faculty, doing incredible things to inspire our students, I will leave you with a challenge. If your purpose and your passion level is high, keep shining that light into the world. If that passion level is low, and in the world that we live in, it's not too difficult to get run down, right? Everything locally, internationally, pick up a good book, watch a movie that inspired you in the past, get that passion level back up. So in 2022, you can do amazing things to inspire students so they can go into the world, they can change themselves, and they can change the world around them. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, for that really awesome and inspiring message. Really appreciate it. So as we kind of wrap up the event and come to a close, the last chapter is Lions Forever. And this is maybe a little different way to view the long-term impact of a life connected to Missouri Southern State University. And that's from alumni, people who've been here often many years ago, people whose lives have been impacted by people maybe we don't even know. And there are 3 examples here of individuals who have made planned gifts to the university that have made an impact. So I thought it'd be fun to close by thinking about their impact and how they inspire us. So the first one is Joel Newby. You may have heard that a $1 million estate gift from Mr. Newby, who's a early graduate from Joplin Junior College, is being utilized to help fund the Global Leaders Program on campus. So students like Titus are benefiting from his generosity that he included in his estate plan many years ago. Tom and Rose Flood, a little background on them. He was the 3rd dean of Joplin Junior College, so a rich history of connection to our institution. They had an estate gift of $430,000, also being utilized to support global leaders. And then Judith Brown, who recently included Missouri Southern and its foundation in her estate plan in the summer of 2020. Let me tell you a little bit about that. She's a lifetime educator, multiple family ties to Missouri Southern, and she plans to enhance an existing endowed scholarship for art or art education and establish 3 new scholarships for elementary education students, music students, psychology, and a student from Jasper County. So if you think about this full circle, right, from very young Lion Cubs, the Lion Cub Academy, how we support and connect people there, K through 12, our current students, our graduates, successful alumni, and then full circle, the impact that those experiences have. And oftentimes we see people realizing the impact Missouri Southern has had in helping us moving into the future. So I think a lot to be thankful for, even during challenging times, a lot to reflect on. Our mission, the impact we have, the difference we make is right in front of us every day. So I thank all of you for what you do, our faculty, our staff, our community supporters. Let's have a great semester. Thanks.